Hi, my name is Marcella Cobb, and my topic is Explain the meaning of the right to communicate to the public and when this right is most likely to be infringed using appropriate examples. The law of copyright is contained within the Copyright Act of 1968. It acts to protect works made from the creators of literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic works. It refers to the certain exclusive rights to reproduce, publish, or communicate, including over the internet, a piece of work. It is not an infringement of the right to republish a work that is already in public, but it may be an infringement to communicate the work without permission. An exclusive right to communicate the work to the public was introduced under the Copyright Amendment Digital Agenda Act of 2000, and it introduced a new exclusive right to communicate the work to the public. The amending legislation contained a moderately detailed definition of communicate under Section 10 of the Act, which is to make available online or electronically transmit, whether over a path or combination of paths, provided by a material, substance, or otherwise a work or other subject matter, including a performance or live performance. The right of the meaning to communicate to the public was considered in the case of Telstra v. Australasian Performing Rights Association with respect to the transmission of musical works where APRA owned copyright via on-hold service made by Telstra to their mobile phone users. APRA claimed that the use of the whole music made by Telstra was a copyright infringement of their right to broadcast the works to the public under Section 31, subsection 1A of the Copyright Act. This case helped to define the meaning of to the public in relation to copyright infringement. The case primarily concerned the diffusion and broadcasting rights in the Copyright Act and dealt with three broad principles relevant to the characterisation. 1. Whether the performance is taking place in a domestic and private setting. If the performance is not taking place in private, then it will deem to be a performance in public. Whether the performance occurs as an adjunct to a commercial activity. And 3, whether the audience forms part of the copyright owner's public for the purpose of earning royalties, then it is likely that the performance is in public. The emphasis is on the relationship between the audience and the copyright owner and whether the copyright owner would be entitled to expect payment for the performance of the work. The federal court held in favour of APRA that Telstra was in breach of the copyright law. Telstra appealed the case to the High Court, and the appeal was largely focused on the term to the public and considered the terms broadcast, even though Telstra was broadcasting for a small group of customers, and commerciality in determining the complexities relating to the case. The High Court found it irrelevant that Telstra's broadcast was only received by a small section of the public and determined that it was made in a commercial setting, so it could not be considered domestic or private. And as it was in a commercial setting, the owner is entitled to receive payment for authorised performance of the works. The High Court held that Telstra infringed upon APRA's right to transmit the works via a standard telephone service and that it did constitute a broadcast to the public. Thank you.